Hey, Julie.
Yes.
So you were saying that we already did that first assignment. So on the calendar, um, it says for Sunday, June 2nd, social justice analysis team topic and division of labor due.
Right. So I was just saying that she had said this would work if we decide to go this route. So
But we still have to divide the labor, or no?
we already talked about who was reading the chapters and everything, so we can just type that up and send to her.
Oh, is that just talking about chapters, or like who's doing like A, B, C, whatever D, like who's got like
I
points?
don't know. I feel like we're all probably going to contribute to.
Yeah, I think so too, but I just didn't
Uh,
because
okay.
I didn't know if we have to send her a separate email. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look like there's any points attached to it, so I don't think that it's gonna matter if we do it like so clearly.
So I had just started the shared Google Doc with the information um, on breast cancer in African American women. But that does not have to be the route that we go. It was just information that I had found, and she had already suggested that in the previous email. So I guess we need to decide, is this what we want to do, or is
Mm-hmm.
there something else we want to do?
That.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as a topic.
I just have a question. It says so the disparity would be that African American women don't get screened as much as white women.
They get screened, but they have a higher mortality rate.
Okay.
So typically they have an advanced diagnosis by the time they're screened because they have screening, but they typically are screened later. So their mortality rate is higher.
Meaning, like, there's more time in between the screenings, meaning later, and then you catch it and you get an advanced stage versus if they were screened earlier.
Yes, and then there's also a delay in follow-up care and access to care, according to one of those things that I put on the site. So
Yeah,
if they
I
get a
saw that.
screening,
I agree. I like that. I guess my question was that because it looks like more black women get screened than white women, but if they get screened too late, then that doesn't really matter.
More as in percentage wise or
so
number?
Percentage.
about 40 to 42% higher death rate compared to white women because of late screenings or like late diagnosis.
Yeah. I think that's a great topic.
I think it's a good topic. It's just confusing to me. Like, if more black women are getting screening, then
They're
is
not
it?
getting screened at the appropriate times. So, like, they may find a lump and not go to have that, or they go for a screening and have an abnormal, and then there's a delay in them getting back.
So of the people that get screening and that we find out there's something wrong, there are some clear deficits in terms of when they're getting the screening, when their follow-up is, and it's different than in other ethnic groups.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I feel like if we just do the U.S. as our geographic location, because that's kind of where the information that I found, I think that would be easier.
I like that idea.
The social injustice part, according to a day's model of vulnerability, would be social status for race. I feel like that would work, but there's probably lots of other things that would work as well.
Wait, you thought we found a theory, Julie?
I'm sorry?
Did you say you found a theory?
There's a theory of justice, according to John Rawls, that says health equity cannot be achieved without equity in healthcare and in economic allocations.
So this is going to be race and like economic kind of standing together.
Well, I thought about that, but I was just flipping through the chapters and trying to find something that fit because the others that I had read didn't really apply. So,
what chapter is this?
chapter 22 on page 313. And then there's another person, a sin, that talks about nurses can select practices that reflect self-specific injustices such as disparities in pain management, lack of access due to gender, race, or class, and develop collective strategies to change these unjust practices. And that's kind of all in the same place as the theory of justice. It's a comparative theory of justice. So.
Okay, I kind of didn't quite catch on. I'm a visual and I have to see it. Maybe we can just send a picture of it or something.
What?
Can you send a picture of it? I'm sorry. At some point, it doesn't have to be done right now.
And it doesn't have to be this. I was just trying to find something that would.
No, I think that I liked the first one, but I couldn't really understand the second one. It was more wordy.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with it, but it talks more about like race and access to care. So.
Okay, I'm cool with that. So that first one is chapter 22, and the second one is also in chapter 22, or is that something?
Same section. It was just in a paragraph below it.
Oh, okay, so it's the same theory.
It's just they expanded on his theory and had it as a comparative theory of justice.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
But there may be something else that works better. That's just what I had found so far.
Yeah. So what today's agenda is to basically decide for sure what our group topic is, to kind of divvy up the work, the chapters and things like that, find a theory, and start working basically. Is that what we're doing?
I think so. I have a question about the slide count. Seen anywhere where it says this is how many slides to not go over? Because I can't.
It's specific for each section, like it can be up to this many, but
Okay, I found that, but I didn't know if there was anywhere where it said don't go over this amount.
like a total.
Right. Okay. So I did have a question on the policy solution. It said 1 slide per solution. And underneath it, it said what evidence supports each one, but it didn't really give a slide count for that. So are we supposed to, do you know if we're supposed to put the evidence on with the policy solution slide?
So
I would think so, because it says support the solution, 1 slide per solution, and then the subsets are underneath that slide.
That's
so. So I would think it may be more of like we do more talking when we, you know what I'm saying? You have small bullets on there. You're doing more talking than putting all of the words out there, because it is a lot to get on a slide. You know what I mean?
I do. That's kind of what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure my brain was not in overload this time.
that's why I made that. PowerPoint, trying to get like how many we could have at the most to kind of know as we were going through. And it doesn't have to be that format or anything. It was just for me visually, because I was having a hard time.
I have to do the same thing, so.
I like it. It's all out there now on an outline, so that works.
And then as far as like winners and losers, I feel like if we define like right now African American females are losing, those who are low income or don't have access to care, or your health departments, because then they're having to come up with that. And then we could possibly pull in the information from the first paper that I did, the policy about funding for the health department that way. I don't know.
Yeah, that would work.
And then the winners, I guess would be the people, the surgeons and stuff.
Well, your white females are obviously having a higher rate of care. Your high income people, your private offices, those kinds of things too,
Yeah.
because they're getting screened and they're getting the care. I don't know. I was just trying to.
The other people aren't. Yeah, but the oncologists are making a lot of money.
Right.
They have to continue to do more chemo involved, more surgery, and then the plastic surgeons probably are also making good money because they have to do more reconstructive surgery afterwards. So then, I have a question. Once we write this up, we're going to present this in June, obviously. Do you think we should have like speaker notes underneath here so we can kind of know what we're seeing, or are we just gonna? Hello.
I don't know if we'll be able to see our speaker notes. She didn't provide an example.
Like if we do, are we doing it on BBB? Because I think I've been able to see my speaker notes on BBB.
I've not ever presented on BBB, so I'm not for sure about that. So,
I mean, I guess we could always just print them ourselves and have them while we present.
I mean, we can always put them in, and then that way other people are able to see what we're planning to say and then print them beforehand if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think we should put them in at least. We have an idea of what's going to happen.
So I've sent you guys some emails.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time switching back and forth from the videos. I don't know why. It just like messes up my whole screen.
Mari, your cat's cute.
Avril. Thank you.
What were the emails for, Julie?
Whatever was the page in the book that you wanted to see.
Oh, thank you.
so did you say you had already submitted the division for the reading and all that?
No, just that she had said this topic would work if we choose to go with that. So we just need to like confirm that with her.
Okay.
And also, I'm not going to be able to attend a BBB this week, so I don't know if anybody else is or not. But
I will not be able to attend Tuesdays, but is there a Thursday one this week?
supposed to be, I think.
Yeah, I can never make the Tuesday ones, but I can try to make the Thursday one.
I can try to make the Thursday one also. Tomorrow night, I'm practicing with a group for my presentation.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yay. I don't know. She keeps saying I need more POW to grab my audience in my square. I don't know what more POW I can come up with. So
Ow.
Take your shoulder.
that would probably do it.
What was your topic again, Nicole?
Increase in well child exams and immunizations in adolescents. So it's the adolescent age group. So taking my shirt off might get more people in there.
That might get their attention.
In that 11 and a 12-year-old age group, those boys don't care how old the boobies are when they see them.
Oh, dear. my goodness.
Oh, bless it be. Oh, all the ways to make quality improvement exciting. So,
Yes.
Okay.
So do you guys want to just divvy up the chapters then real quick so that we can, whenever we email her, we can just tell her what chapters we're doing, and then we can just say we're all going to work on the PowerPoints together. Whoever wants to attack which portion. Is that how we want to do it?
I think so. I like the way we do the comments in there, and that way it kind of alerts everybody's attention to it, and we can make adjustments or say if it looks okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to find which chapters were that she told us to read.
I think was it the whole book?
it was chapters in section 1 and chapters in section 4. Is that correct? In philosophies and practices of the emancipatory nursing, social justice as praxis. Was that the book? Yes.
Because she said section 2 and 3 were more on education and research and wouldn't be very beneficial. Correct?
No. Yeah. No comment. Yes, she did. She did say that.
Well, if you guys want to, whoever has the book with them, let's just find those sections and then.
So I've got it right here. Section 1 has 10 chapters. No, section 1 has 6 chapters, and section 4 has 6 chapters as well.
So she said we need to read 2 each.
I've already read 5 and 6 and 17 and 18 and most of 22.
All right, Julie.
Well, then which chapters are left?
5, 6, 17, 18, and most of 22.
So, hold that thought 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, that's what I've read.
Okay. So that leaves chapters 1 through 4 and chapters 19, 20, and 21. Correct?
Yes.
I can take 1 through 4.
Well, no, because there are 4 of us left. So
Oh.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters. So we could do like 2, 2, 2, 1, whatever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll take 1 and 2 then, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'll take 3 and 4, I guess.
I'll take 19 and 20.
And I'll take the other ones.
The 21?
Oh.
Nicole, you're
Yeah.
doing 1 and 2. I'm doing 3 and 4. I'm gonna send this as an email.
Just we can type it up in an email what we agreed to and send it out so we'll all know what
Yeah,
we're
I'll get it.
reading.
Which ones did you say, Jenkins, you're doing?
19 and 20.
No.
And which one do you have, Mari?
No.
21 and is that all of
That's
them?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
How big?
Okay. Okay, I emailed it to everyone. All right. And then is there anything part of it, like when Julie started the PowerPoint, is there anyone that particularly wants to work on the analysis or the epidemiology, or do we just want to start working on it and whoever gets to what first?
I say we start working on it because we got to make sure we have each section done before we can do the next section on some of it.
That's true. But we do have a population. We said national, right?
Right. And African American women.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then we said that we are going to try to do the chapter 22. So unless somebody finds a better theory when we're reading through, we'll still have to, pull from the book for the other things. So unless someone finds a better one, we'll just use what Julie said in chapter 22.
Okay.
We can discuss more next time we meet to see if
That way we can be all have our reading done.
Yeah, and I think we'll make sure all of us has seen either a BBB about it or the tips and tricks, and then we can have more ideas and stuff.
Sounds great.
I think we also need to review if we're going to go with a day's model of vulnerability with the social status of race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I said. If we don't find anything better, then we should just go.
Yeah, because I like a day's model. It kind of lines it out in different sections.
And I feel like this fits, but I think it would fit in a lot of different things. So if there's another aspect that we feel like is better, I'm completely okay with that. I was just trying to get an outline of what we need to do.
I like it. And a day's model, is that in the book or is that in her module?
In the module.
It's in our module.
Okay, I thought I saw it earlier. Wait, but we don't need two, right? We're either going to do a days or the one in chapter 22. Am I wrong?
So you have to pick a political issue, a social injustice, and a geographic location. So the social injustice would be where it falls into it actually being an injustice, and then in the book is the actual theory solution.
Oh, so where it falls into injustice is the days model?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
I feel like we need a secretary to keep up with it.
I know.
I've made a couple notes on the.
I have lots.
Yeah.
I got to answer this phone call. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Question on the geographic area. Do you think U.S. is too broad? Like, would she want the South? Would she want a specific state or?
The BBB that I watched, she said it can be regional, like state. It could be your county. It could be national. You can even do global if you wanted to.
Okay.
And the information on that shared Google Doc is for US.
Okay.
So.
Especially if we can find data on it. I'm like,
okay.
How much time do we have to have? How much recording do we have to have for this one?
I don't know. I'm assuming it was the same.
Sorry about that.
And then the presentation only needs to be. It has to be 25 minutes or less. So we have a lot more time.
That's live, right?
Pardon?
Don't we have to present on a particular day at a particular time? Isn't that kind of a whole?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's live.
It's live.
Yes.
I wrote the date down somewhere. It's like June 14th, I think.
It is.
Okay.
And it did say that we have to have everything submitted the first day that presentations start. So I guess we need to figure out when the very first day is, if that's the first day or if it's beforehand.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah. Me too. The 14th looks like, or the 13th. The 13th is the first one I see.
That was the first one I saw too, but I didn't know if it was.
Yeah.
I think that's the date that it's due, right? Like, I think that's what it says on the thing for assignment.
So we have less than 3 weeks. So what do you guys think our solution will be?
Well, if we use the access to care and incorporate it into funding with the health department to try to increased screening targeted specifically for African American women. We can use part of the paper that I wrote as far as the people who are going to be funding it would be studying for federal, and trying to get them to support funding for that.
Yeah, it says June 13th at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Yeah, so then I guess it would actually support both funding because it would support the clinical outcomes. So people would find their cancers earlier, and it will also support the injustice by giving money to people that don't have access to care. So it would technically work on both levels because she stressed how it has to be on a clinical level and in a population level too, like both ways that it has to be, the solution has to work for both. Does that make sense?
It does.
I think we're good, you guys. Probably need to have some deadlines.
Sounds good.
So are we going to meet again, same time and place next Monday?
Like a standing date.
Mhm.
So, do you all
Sure.
feel comfortable with?
It's going to be the same situation for me. I work and I'm going to do my best to get here, but I may be just 5-10 minutes late. Hopefully not, but I think I can join it on my cell phone if I have to.
Do you want us to move it to like, instead of, like I'm central, so 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30? Would that work better for everyone?
That works for me. If it works for everybody else, I don't want to move it back if it doesn't work for other people though.
Yeah. I'm on call, shocker, but pending any birth, like as long as I don't have a labor, I'm good. Yeah.
You can. Why don't we do it like 8:15? That way Mari doesn't have to run.
Yeah, I kind of threw my patient at the night shift and ran out the door.
Bye.
Jenkins, your patient the other day, was she okay? Maybe? No.
I'm sorry.
That's so sad.
Sorry.
It's okay. Me. Yeah. Yeah. But I called my doc and we met at the hospital and we were both there to intervene, but I live 14 minutes away. So, yeah.
I mean, you also can't do a C-section.
The biggest facts, but we rolled in together. So, and, she thought I was overreacting, but she talked some trash, but then I actually needed her. So, yeah. Okay.
Did the right thing.
Do you want to start the recording?
Yes. So, did we decide 8:15 or 8:30 is going to be best for you, Mari?
I think 8:15 should be fine.
Can we have like a little like deadline? So let's say that each of us works on one slide before next week. That way we have some accountability that we've worked on something.
Okay.
That's gonna help me. I don't know if it's gonna help you.
So then, do we need to split up who's going to work on which part? Then, I mean, I just thought we were all going to contribute, and
Yeah, we can all contribute, but like that we all have to contribute something by next week. That's gonna be our goal.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, we can stop there, please.
all right, I'm stopping it now.